So,
Okay.
good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, couchers. And welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. Today, we have a big one for you, couchers. We have from Rivers of Nile, Andy Thomas, one of their guitar players. So, Andy, how are you today?
Dude, I'm doing good. That's it's afternoon for me, and it's a very beautiful day here in Arizona.
Nice, yeah. So, yeah, let me congratulate you first on that beard. Uh, that's a legendary looking beard.
Hey, thanks, man. I,
Yeah,
I lost I lost it all up here, so I have to keep it somewhere.
you have to yeah you have to keep the hair somewhere. So very exciting. The album's out on May 30th on Metal Blade Records, but I am privileged to have listened to it before and are people in for a treat. This is
Hey.
this record, first of all, this is because you started with the band in 2022 as a touring guitarist, then they made you a member, but this is the first album that you're actually on the album.
Yep. Yep, that's correct. Was it 2022 or was it 2023? Yeah, it was 2022.
It
Wow.
was
Okay.
I think it
Yeah,
was 2022. If not, damn, the internet was was wrong. But
I don't even know anymore.
sometimes years blend into each other. But
Yeah.
I know that you did provide some vocals on the Where Owls Meet Your Name album back in
Yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
Uh,
I did. I grew up with those guys, so we've known each other for, particularly Brody and Biggs. I've known those guys for probably at least 15 years, if not more. And we're all from the same city, so we grew up playing local shows together in different bands, and I've kind of been a Rivers fan since the beginning. I think I was at their second show, maybe their first, uh, and I was at the party that they held when they got signed to Metal Blade and stuff. I've been around forever with these guys, so we go way back.
yeah, and you contribute not also like you have you do background vocals and I love Where Owl Meets Your that were the Owl record, but I think this album is really I think it's going to surprise a lot of people because I think you're mixing things from the first Rivers of Nile record,
Hmm.
uh, experimentation from the last one. I wasn't a huge fan of the work.
Okay.
I I really love Owls, but the work to me was more experimental. But this one, my favorite part about this record is the singing.
Thanks, man.
Like,
Yeah, I think for me, I think I might like the work better than Owls. I love the work. The work is when I heard the work, I thought, man, I got to join this band. So,
yeah,
but
they
yeah,
were.
no, I appreciate that about the singing, that we worked very hard on it. And between me, Jared, and Biggs, we can really cover a lot of ground now. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's good because you have like, and I don't know who's singing which part, but you have like different people. So that has to be fun that you have different people that can do the singing.
Right.
And I know you just got from you did a European tour back in March, right?
Yeah, yeah, I got back on March 30th, yeah. But it was basically all of March, yeah. It started February 29th, I think, to March or February 28th to March 29th, I think was the tour. It was good. It was very fun. It was well attended. All the bands, Cynic, Beyond Creation, and Doth, they were all great bands, great people. It was a good one.
Yeah, and you're heading out on the road once like near the album is out, like I think starting on May 22nd, if I'm not mistaken.
You're
Uh,
right.
so now you're resting, and then North America is going to prepare. And this record, because you have this, it's called Rivers of Nile, uh, because I think it's like like a rebirth of the band because the lead singer that the band had is no longer with the band, so it's you're doing differently. So that's why you decided on having like a self-title. This is like a newer version of the band.
Yeah, it's that very much. But it kind of feels like the band is at its best, and it is at its best interpersonally for sure. and musically. So I mean, that's a good time to kind of self-title your record. But also the four season thing had run its course with their first four albums, so that it was kind of it literally is a new beginning. Um, yeah, so there's a number of reasons for that. Um, it's the fifth album. We kind of took a lot of influence. I've said this in a couple interviews now, but it's true. We took a lot of influence from the Black Album with this one. It's the fifth album. That was Metallica's fifth album. They made a conscious effort on that one to write more concise and potent music, and we've done the same on this one.
No, I really love it. Yeah, but yeah, that makes sense. It's your fifth album, and but the first song that starts this album, you actually released it in 2023, the Sub Orbital Blues, which
Yes.
starts the record. But so you had this song like back in 2023, so it's been a while. So it's not considered like the first single of the record, even though you released it in 2023. How did you decide on that song to have like the first initial song showing you playing the guitar and like a first taste of New Reapers of Nile?
Well, that song was literally the first one that we wrote together. I had that main riff sitting around for a little while, and I remember it was in Nashville. We were backstage on the tour that we did with the Contortionist, and I showed Brody that riff, and he took a video of it, and then went home after that tour and kind of developed it into the song that it is, which took some trial and error and whatnot. But that was the first one, so that kicked off the whole thing. That was the first thing that we wrote together, and it feels appropriate as an opener, and I think it's good. It is good in that place, and it's also a good opener live. It does pretty well. It's sort of like a taste of things to come, that song, because
Yeah,
the arrangements kind of open up in the middle of the album a little bit. You get some more bigger epic stuff.
I have stuff written down that they're not singles, and I'll ask you about them.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it ended up being a good lead-off track. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good lead-off track. So actually, my favorite, I like the two singles that you have so far, besides that one. But since I got to listen to the album, I gotta say, in the middle of the record, Water and Time and Despair Church, those two songs kick ass.
Yeah, Water and Time is actually the next single. That'll be out in a few days, I think. And Despair Church is another one that Brody and I wrote together. The main riff to Despair Church, it was funny. I wrote it and I made a video of it and I sent it to Biggs, and I never heard anything back. So I just thought, well, I guess that sucks. And then we were in Australia, and I was actually at the gym with Benji from Ne Obliviscaris, and the other three guys were upstairs in this hotel. And I got back from the gym, and they had started putting that song together with the riff, and I was just like, I didn't even know that anybody liked that riff. And that's how that song started. Yeah.
So they surprised you after the gym.
Yeah. But yeah, I like Despair Church a lot. I really like the interlude at the end with the strings and piano and saxophone. I think that turned out really beautiful.
Yeah, no, that's another thing I like about the band, because obviously Rivers of Nile did it like almost 10 years ago when I remember when I first heard Owls and I heard like saxophone or metal, and I was like, but now it totally makes sense in longer songs to give it like that spacing.
Sure.
So yeah, one is great. But right now you have the two singles that are in the two videos is for House of Light and American Death.
Yes.
I think House of Light is a great single because I think it has a little bit of elements of everything that you do on this record in a more concise.
Yeah. House of Light is a good one, and it just kind of has. It probably has my favorite chorus on the album, although there are a few contenders for that. We just feel really strongly. We felt really strongly about that song. Very proud of it. And that was another one that Brody and I really, really collaborated a lot on, and it turned out great. Um, and yeah, great words from Biggs. We came up with some great melodies for it. And yeah, I love that song.
Yeah. So is Biggs writing most of the lyrics for the record?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Okay. But
Yeah.
you, yeah, the album, I was like really surprised. Now that you mentioned that thing about the Black Album, because there's singing on this record, that doesn't mean people do not get scared. That doesn't mean that there's no like heavier vocals, but the clean singing on this record, I don't know why people are afraid of clean singing in metal.
I don't know either. It's I mean, melody is my favorite part of music, you know. I don't know. I don't really understand why. Um, but I guess some people just like brutal music, and that's their wheelhouse, and that's where they stay, and that's all fine and good. I like brutal music too, but it's not all I like. So
No, yeah, but album has a great, very good blend of like heaviness, melodic, some catchy, some great like you have a lot of like extra musicians doing like you said the saxophone, piano, like different instruments blending into uh, and so yeah, I really enjoy it. So let me
glad.
show the artwork. Yeah, the artwork for the album, which is a pretty cool artwork. Rivers of Nile has always been known for great artwork.
Yeah,
At least,
yeah, Dan, that's true.
yeah. So tell me a little bit about what you guys wanted to convey with this artwork.
So this obviously it's Dan Seagrave again. He's done every Rivers album. Um, and I think, you know, again, the lyrical themes of the album are not my own, but I've spent some time with them now, obviously, I've contemplated them quite a bit. And I think the main theme of the album is probably just trying to align your life with light instead of despair and darkness, you know? And I think in the metal scene, it's people have this weird preoccupation with darkness, and and when you cultivate that in your life, you really only get more of it. And then people wonder why their lives are hard. You know,
Hmm.
life is hard. That's not what I mean, but I mean they wonder whether they're always suffering.
No,
Um,
that makes total sense, and
yeah,
uh, you can write heavy music and have it have like a positive message. It's being done before.
yeah,
And so yeah, this I did I felt like when at least I felt like the work was a more like heavy album in like the like in that depressive tone, but I felt like this one had a good mix of
yeah,
everything. And
yeah. And that's so the cover is gold. There's a biblically accurate angel on the cover. You know, it's uh it's just a I guess it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's encouraging people to cultivate good in their life because
that's
yeah,
a
you
good attitude too.
yeah. I mean, and that's the thing though, is like being metal musicians, you're surrounded by this like prevailing negativity. And I'm not saying that I can't be a negative person. I definitely can be. But like in the scene, it's like, you know, just darkness and despair and hatred.
Yeah.
As you get older, it's worthless.
You never see that in a ska band.
No, no, you don't.
They're
That's
always
yeah, yeah.
so
And
yeah,
yeah, that's, I want to be happy for sure.
yeah, yeah. There, I wouldn't imagine Rivers of Nile playing like a ska type music, but keep it keep it heavy.
We will
So
do that, but there will always be monster truck riffs. Don't worry.
yes, there will always be. So so the recording process, you being this your first time, How long did it take to work on this record?
Uh, that's tough to say because we did, oh man, we did so much touring around the time, and we did 4 singles. Not long after I joined the band, I guess the year after or something. We recorded like you were saying earlier, the original of Suborbital, Criminals, Hellbirds, and Water and Time, which is our next single. They were all revamped when we went back into the studio. We added, for example, saxophone to Suborbital, or banjo to Criminals and stuff like that. And Hellbirds was not included on the album, obviously. It just didn't fit the vibe. But we recorded the album over 2 sessions then in 2023 and 2024. And the album's been done for about a year. So I had a guy earlier ask me, like, oh, why is it taking so long? And it's like, well, what's that?
Mix and mastering.
Yeah, well, and just touring all the time. And then once you hand the album into the label, it's another year before it comes out. So the album's been done for a year. You know?
I've learned interviewing bands, so I don't do that question anymore because shit takes time.
Yeah, it does. But I will say that the writing and recording of the album was we had a really good time. It was very pain-free. And it just, yeah, it really came together pretty effortlessly. We've all had these albums in our career that were like really hard to make or whatever, and this wasn't one of them.
Yeah, and sometimes those really hard to make albums don't turn out as great as the ones that come by easily.
Yeah. That's for sure true.
You can
Not always. It can go either way, but you're right about that. And this one, I think, this one sounds the way that it felt. It's good.
Yeah, no, I know I've heard it, but you can ask that to Axl Rose about Chinese democracy.
Woo!
Yeah. Took you 10, was it worth it?
Yeah.
You never know. It's not overthinking, but I don't think Rivers of Nile has produced a bad album. So every album has been good.
I agree.
Yeah, the work was the most like. I think I gotta go back to it. Maybe it's because it was like so experimental at the time. But
yeah,
I
think that's an album that over time people will come to realize was really freaking good. I think it's definitely like, because Owls was kind of immediately undeniable. It was very like direct. And the work was, yes, like you said, it was very experimental. But I think over time, people will realize that, like you said, that maybe they should go back and revisit that one. Yeah, and then I can say that from a fan perspective because I wasn't involved. You know.
That is true. So, but no, the good thing about doing these reviews and talking to people is that I get to listen to stuff way before it comes out. So it's like it's good in a way because I get to listen to it. And yeah, this album right now, I think people are gonna be blown away when they listen to this album. It's that good. It's that melodic. I think you took everything from your previous album to make this one, and that's good. Like you have to sprinkle in a little bit of everything to make like cohesive type of record.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think it's under an hour long. It's
like 53 minutes or something, I think. Yeah.
That's a perfect length because right now with records, either they're too long or they're too freaking short.
Yeah, I never I mean, there are some great albums that are really short. Planetary Duality comes to mind by the Faceless. Decapitated, Organic Hallucinosis. Those are 2 albums that are really I think they're around 30 minutes, but it's perfect. But it has to be really dynamite to be that short. And then there are albums that obviously overstay their welcome as well. You know, when you get into 70 minutes, 75 minutes, it's like, all right, you know.
You're like some editing, some copy and pasting.
Yeah.
About 53 minutes, I think it's a sweet spot.
Yeah.
It's a sweet spot for a record. So you talked a little bit about the favorites. Like, do you have any? Like, let's ask this: was there like a song in this record that was the most challenging for you, maybe to play or write?
I mean, the most challenging thing about there's some riffs on it that are tough, but I mean that's always the case with this music. Um, I think the hardest part, the most challenging part, is that a lot of the choruses on this album vocally are the most demanding things I've ever sang. So I think for me that the hardest part will be the vocals and you know, singing the chorus to House of Light or Despair Church or whatever. Uh, that's that's the challenging part, and you know, playing while you do it. So it's not so much that the music is like terribly hard. There's some difficult stuff for sure, and I don't want to make it sound like the shit is easy for me because it's not. But uh, the vocals are the part of it that I'm like, all right, man, let's get to work, you know?
So yeah, so you guys challenge yourself vocally on this record.
Oh yeah, big time.
That's why I mentioned it. Like that's what stood out to me on this one because yeah, I've heard the saxophone, but I never think I've heard so much melodic singing from the band as on this
Mhm. Yeah,
with heavy music.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it kind of, I don't know. It just seems to be a logical extension of growing as a musician. You know, ultimately you realize what make you know ultimately, at least for us, we strive, like I said, to get better at composition, better at direct songwriting, just potent songs with not a lot of fat on them, and then melodies that get stuck in your head. And that's I mean, that's what we strive for.
Yeah, no, and I think it's done. So obviously, you guys are going on tour in May, so it's gonna be a busy year for you guys. Uh,
Yes.
After that tour, any plans, or are you already thinking of more music?
I mean, we already have more music in the works. Yeah, that's kind of just a thing that we always have because of the nature of who we are. I mean, you know, Brody writes music constantly, and I come up with a lot of ideas pretty often, and then we, you know, develop them and whatever. It's just finding the time to do it around touring. And like you said, so we're going to do this tour in May and June with Holy Fawn, Inner Arma, and Glacial Tomb.
Great band,
Holy Fawn's awesome, and what's weird about that is they're from right here where I live, and I've never met them. So
and they play like shoegaze, like hard shoegaze, like
yeah, it's like they're like a heavy Seeger roast or something. It's great.
yes,
Yeah.
and
So yeah,
that's
we're gonna. What's
too
that?
different from you guys.
What's that?
That is awesome that you guys get to tour with a band that is they play like different stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's a cool package. I think people will like it. I'm excited to see Holy Fawn. Um, so we're gonna get back from that tour in June, and then in August we'll go over to Europe and do all the festivals. We're doing Brutal Assault, we're doing Bloodstock, we're doing Summer Breeze. I think Motoculture, a bunch of other ones. So we'll be over there for most of August, and then I'm sure we'll do another U.S. run in the fall, but I don't know yet what that is. And hopefully we'll get to South and Central America, Mexico, Japan. I don't know, wherever.
Puerto Rico at some point.
Are you in Puerto Rico?
Yeah,
That's cool. I'd love to go to Puerto Rico.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you don't need no passport.
No, no. Actually, it's we're from Reading, Pennsylvania, and Reading, Pennsylvania has a huge Puerto Rican population. And
We're
it's
everywhere.
yeah, well, the food's very good. I know that.
Yeah.
Know that. So yeah, I'd love to play in Puerto Rico. I think some bands have done it, right? They come down there sometimes.
Yes, On to Others played this last weekend.
Oh, cool, cool. Yeah, I would love to. So hopefully we can work that out. Call some people, make it happen.
Yeah, I know promoters here. Like, yeah, Like that would be cool. I'm sure a lot of people will be psyched to see Rivers of Nile down here in Puerto Rico. So
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, you're going to be busy. Lots of touring. So people can pre-order the record Metal Blade.
Yep.
You have like 7 variants.
Yep.
I'll put them for Metal Blade for people who want to
Thank
pre
you.
the
Yeah,
album.
we have merch for sale on Indie Merch too, but the best way to go about it is to come let us see your faces at a show and pick up some merch from us there.
Yeah, that's the best way. And just don't have every album for you to sign.
I'll do it. You know, it's definitely weird for me to sign albums that I wasn't on, but people
Yeah,
want it, so okay.
it would be bad if you're like a band that has like 20 plus albums and they
Oh
give you
man, yeah,
sign. You're
yeah,
like like
yeah,
think.
yeah, like AC/DC or something.
Also, when I see those videos, I think to myself, who the fuck is walking around with all those records? Like just like they
For
have to
the
know.
for the whole show, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
no. If I buy a shirt, I'll take it to my car because I don't want to be that dork in the concert with the shirts and all the stuff. No, no, I don't
Yeah.
want
Yeah,
to.
right.
So Andy, it's been great chatting with you. Much success with the Rivers of Nile album. It's a great album. I can tell it that I already have it on my. I have a list where I put my favorite albums of the year, and I already have yours in my list. Like this is like
Ah, well,
the
thank you so much, man. And hopefully we can come hang out in Puerto Rico, dude.
yes. I'll take you guys to eat some Puerto Rican food, like it's yeah because you're not gonna come here to go to McDonald's.
No. Although some of the other guys in the band probably would, but I wouldn't. Yeah.
No, that would be a travesty.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, that would be very cool, man. Drink
yeah.
some Puerto Rican beer too.
Yes, some medalla and other. We have some. We have also like some those creative breweries that they're doing like artisan beers.
Like craft beer, yeah.
Whatever hipsters are drinking nowadays.
I
So
like
before I let you go, because I know you're a busy man and you have more of this to do, anything you'd like to say to the fans before we go?
Oh, I mean, just like always, thank you for supporting us all over the years through all our different phases of our career and whatnot. And um, you know, we're very lucky that the shows keep getting bigger for us. And yeah, just thanks and come on out and hang.
Yeah. So, Andy, thank you for taking some time to chat with me today. So, until next time, couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank
Take
you
care.
and
Thanks for
goodbye.
having